We are now going to gather data from a graph. And so this is where we take a graph of connected data points and we use that to figure out something about the problem. And so our example that we're going to do is we're going to look at the water levels found at Lake Mead. And so here's a graph. This is pulled from a government website that keeps track of the water levels and posts them for given weeks. And I've gathered some specific data points by week. You'll notice the weeks go by 2. And every data point on here gives some aspect of that. And so we can find our data points. And so what we want to know first is we want to know what week was the Lake Mead, at its highest level. And so we look at this graph and we come down and we see that if we look for our highest point, we want the highest y possible. So we look at this and we say it's really low over here, it's high over here, but the highest point looks to be this one right here, and between the two looks to be fairly even, but I'm going to go with the first one that came up. I'm going to say week 4. Week 4 is the input, the x value, that gave me my highest y value. And again, I know that I'm asking for highest y because it's asking for highest level, and that lines up with the labeling on the left. So that's question A. Question B, at what week was the lake 2 levels lower than the highest? Okay, so this gets a little bit trickier, especially since we're only looking at data points and connecting data between them. So 2 points lower in here, oh, that comes down to about here, let's say. And so I'm going to draw a horizontal line right there. That's not a very good line. There we go, that's a little bit better. And I want to know when it's 2 points lower than that. And notice right here, oh, looks like at week 0, our input matches about 2 levels lower than that, so at the very beginning of this data set. And we look right here, we come down, and it looks like somewhere between 10 and 11, it does the same thing. And so we can use this to get a feel for what's going on in the graph. And obviously I could ask another question. I could ask, see, what's the lowest level? We come here, oh, week 20, it's a lot lower. And so using this data, we can try and figure out when do we get our water, and if we were to compare this over a longer period of time, over seasons and years, we could tell when the lake's going to be at its high points, when it's going to be at low points, and we can plan accordingly. So that's getting information from the graph.